Is Groundhog Day the best movie to represent Pennsylvania?
You like your guys with the prominent upper teeth?
We're looking at one movie for each US state, and while many people voted for Rocky or Night of the Living Dead when it came to Pennsylvania, the most popular vote by far was Groundhog Day. And it's not very hard to imagine why. After all, this movie took a Pennsylvania Dutch holiday and made it internationally recognizable. The amount of people visiting Punxsutawney Phil every Groundhog Day increased drastically after the film's release. The weather predicting aspect of this tradition has been made mostly obsolete by meteorologists, aka weathermen. Yet the tradition continues to be a fixture of the community every year. And being able to appreciate a pointless small town tradition like this is one of the lessons of the film.
What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing that you did mattered?
Now that sums it up for me.
Phil isn't just stuck in his time loop, he also already felt stuck in his everyday life. He saw himself as being above the people he worked with, and especially this small town that he was forced to go to every Groundhog Day.
Someday somebody's gonna see me interviewing a groundhog. Think I don't have a future.
And being part of this tradition is one of many similarities he shares with the groundhog. They're both named Phil, they're both a sort of weatherman, and they both leave their daily routine every single year to come to Gobbler's Knob just for this tradition of telling everyone what's going to happen over the next 6 weeks. Which is what prompts him to kidnap the groundhog during the first loop in which he dies. Phil thinks this is the only way for both him and the groundhog to escape being trapped forever by this holiday. Of course it doesn't work. He still wakes up the next morning because he hasn't learned to be selfless and appreciate his life and the people around him. We can see this in how one of the big differences between Phil and the groundhog is their prediction of the weather. Phil says that they're going to avoid the snowstorm that's coming, but the groundhog sees his shadow, indicating 6 more weeks of winter. Afterwards, they get trapped in the town by the very snowstorm Phil said wasn't going to happen. Now, obviously, he could just be wrong here, but it's also very clear that he wants there to be no snow. He even still tries to argue that there isn't going to be snow during the middle of the snowstorm.
What blizzard? It's a couple of flakes.
Because he's just that desperate to get out of this town. That's all he cares about. He doesn't want there to be snow. And this keeps him locked within the town during every loop. Phil is only able to leave the loop after he has accepted and embraced what he had perceived as a mundane and unfulfilling life. Earlier in the film, Phil tried using the loop to get to know Rita so he could pretend to be someone that she would be interested in being with. It's only in the final loop that he actually gets to be with her when he's no longer trying to. She even says he went right to bed. He wasn't doing all of this to try and sleep with her. Instead, he has just genuinely changed into the kind of person that she would want to be with. The same kind of person who wants to stay in this town even after the loop ends.
Let's live here.
And speaking of the loop, I think it's worth mentioning how influential this film has been in time loop narratives in general. So with that in mind, and how much this film has influenced Pennsylvania tourism and the cultural understanding of this tradition in Punxsutawney, I feel pretty confident in saying yes to the question,